Alright, this is not going to be a review that I'm used to making. I'm going to be reviewing the Wooting L45 switches, the linear 45 switches. They did send these out to me, so thank you so much to Wooting. I was going to buy these regardless because Wooting changed their lubing process. That's basically what this main video is about, actually. But yeah, so they did have springs of these, I believe, which I actually modded Boardsy's Wooting, and these springs to me noticed to be pretty light. So yeah, I'll give you my review of these. You'll see. So they do have the force curve on the side, and also like and sub, use my codes in the description and all of that stuff. When you open it, you get a little heart on the lid. The price of these also is 10 of them for $12 or 70 for 40. I believe 40. Yes, 40. $39.99. So you do get this little jar. I do have them in the keyboard. They are a different color. They are yellow. The stock ones, the L60s, are blue, like a perfectly teal. And so the springs originally, when I did Boardsies, they were completely unlubed, obviously. So immediately what I noticed between these two switches is the L45s are considerably smoother. They're considerably smoother. Actually, in one of my more recent videos, I reviewed the Drunk Deer A75, and I said that the Raisha switches in these are smoother than the L60s in the Wooting. But the L45s blow those out of the water, honestly. These are extremely smooth. I will post pictures of basically everything. These are lubed. Basically, these are lubed on the stems. The L45s are lubed on the stems, the legs, the inner poles, and the sides, and the spring. They're completely lubed. On the L60s, you were lucky to even get a dab of oil on the sidewalls. The legs weren't lubed. You had a little bit of lube on the springs. The stems weren't lubed. Nothing was lubed. These do sound better. It is minor. It's still the same bad plate on the Wooting, the steel plate, so it will still sound a little bit crappy, but it does sound a little bit cleaner. And I will give a sound test, but in general, these do feel lighter than 45 grams. To me, these feel like they feel lighter than a Cherry MX Clear, Cherry MX Red. They are not as light as a Gateron Clear, but I would say they're around 40 grams, not 45. And I believe that the L60s were about 5 grams off too. These feel about 65 grams, not 60 in my opinion. So yeah, the new lubing process should be on the L60s though right now. So if you buy the L60s from their store, you should get this lubing process. So still, if you do prefer heavier switches, you can still get these, and they will come with the new lubing process. But I just think that even for the rapid trigger, the L45s just feel better for rapid trigger in general because they're so light. Generally, I'm actually a heavier spring guy, but everything just feels a lot better actually on super light springs on the Wooting. So yeah, I will provide a sound test and all the pictures and everything. But yeah, that's basically gonna be the end of this video. Buy them. It's a direct upgrade, honestly. You will get used to the weight, I assume, if you're just a gamer. If you're an enthusiast and love super heavy springs, maybe not, but yeah, let's get into a sound test. Alright, recapping the sound test. As you can probably hear on it, they do sound a little bit deeper. They still sound like Lekker switches, and I assume over a video it's going to sound a lot more minor than it does in person, but just know in person it does sound a lot better. So, I mean, that's going to be really the end of this review for the Wooting L45 switches. I would definitely recommend them if you have a Wooting. Honestly, I would just do this instead of buying the springs or whatever. Just buy the switches. They're $40 to fill out your keyboard. It is a lot, but they are worth it, I think. But that's the end of this video. Peace.